All that I got, pieces and pages, talking a lot. Sorry, I'm faded. I forgot.
Hey Vixens, welcome and welcome back to my channel. I am Shantae, a makeup enthusiast, and I love to play my makeup, so let's get straight into it. So I'm actually going out to dinner with a couple of my friends, and I honestly don't know what I want to do for this makeup look today, more specifically for the eyes, but I ended up going with a golden goddess type of vibe. So let's get into the primers. I use Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Glow Serum and Main Squeeze. This is going to give me that glow from within. And then I use the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer so that my foundation will have a nice tacky base to hold on to. My foundation of choice today is the Fenty Pro Filt'r Soft Matte in the shade 470. I like to start in the middle of my face and around my mouth area for the most coverage there, and then I will blend it out to the edges of my face. I also blend my foundation down my neck and lightly across my ears, just so that everything looks seamless. For concealer, I am using the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. First, I go in with the shade Chai to all of the areas of my face that I want highlighted. So that is, of course, the under eye area, my nose, my forehead, around my mouth, and on my chin. I start blending out my chin area first because I don't really need that to sit for a long time. And then after that, I move up to the top of my lip, and then I go up to my forehead and my nose, and I leave the under eye for last. The reason that is because I want the most coverage there under my eye, and the longer you let it sit, the more it kind of sets, and then it will stay exactly where you put it. As I blend out the concealer, I do lightly go around onto my eyelid, but I end up adding more concealer on my eyelid anyway later on, just so that I can get a smooth base for my eyeshadow. Once I get done blending my concealer with the brush, I then go in with my beauty blender to blend out any harsh lines that may be evident. And then I'm going to go on top of that with my foundation brush again with no product added, just to make sure everything is blended and seamless. Next, I go in with the shade Butterscotch just to add a little bit more brightness to the center of my face. So as you can see, I'm adding it in the inner corners of my eye, on the bridge of my nose, and just a tad bit on the outer corners of the eye. Then I go in and blend that out. I don't really let this sit for too long because I just want to add just a little bit more brightness than what I already have there. And then, of course, going back in with my beauty blender to blend, 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 make sure everything is seamless. Here I'm going in with my Huda Beauty Tan Tour bronzer slash contour to bring back definition and shape to my face. So I go around my cheekbones, I go around my jawline, I also go around the edge of my forehead, just again to bring back that shape and definition to my face. And of course, I'm gonna go in after that with my same foundation brush with no additional product, just whatever is left on that brush to blend, 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 and blend out those harsh lines. Next, I'm going in with my e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blush in Coral Crush, and I am going to blend that out with a brush. Here I am going in with a powder bronzer. I'm using the Morphe Glamour Bronze in the shade Prodigy to set the cream contour slash bronzer that I used earlier. And then I go in with the Juvia's Place Blush Duo Volume 1, and I tap back and forth in between both of those shades until I get the desired blush shade that I like. Now it's time to set the under eye, but before I can do that, I go back in with my concealer brush, no product added to it, and I'm just tapping out anywhere that I see that any concealer has settled into the fine lines under my eye. And then I'm using the e.l.f. Halo Powder Puff to just press in that powder. The powder that I'm using is the One Size Ultimate Setting Powder in Translucent. So here I'm adding another layer of the One Size Ultimate Setting Powder in Translucent just to bake underneath my eyes. And then I go in and set all of the other highlighted areas with that same powder. Once I press in all of that setting powder into the highlighted areas of my face, I go in with that same Morphe Glamour Bronze bronzer just to contour my nose a little bit. And then I kind of blend that out with the Beauty Blender. Then I go in with the One Size Dark Deep Setting Powder to set the rest of my face. Now I'm going in with more of the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer in Chai just to lay down an even base on my eyelids because I do have darker eyelids and I like to have a smooth, even tone base before I start to lay down eyeshadow. I'm using the Huda Beauty Topaz Obsessions palette, and I'm going in first with the chestnut brown matte in my crease and just blending that out. Next, I'm going to go in with the dark brown matte and add that to my outer V and just blend that out. Finally, I'm going into that gold shimmer shade and I am just gliding that across my entire eyelid. And the rest of this look is just me going back and forth between that chestnut brown and that dark brown just to blend everything out and soften the look a bit more and just to get it to where I would like for it to be for this eye look. So next I'm going to go ahead and press in all of that powder that was just sitting there that I left to bake under my eye using the Beauty Blender. That way I can go in with those same two matte brown shades on my lower lash line just to add some color down there and bring the entire eye look together. I started off with the eyeliner using the e.l.f. waterproof eyeliner in Caffeinated. And then I went in with just a small dense smudging type of brush to kind of smudge it out. But the eyeliner, it just wasn't dark enough for me. Like I didn't want it to be black, but the brown that this elf was given was not a deep dark brown that I was looking for this eye look. So what I ended up doing was going over top of that with the NYX retractable gel eyeliner in the shade brown and smudge that out some. You also see me going in with a small flat angle brush just to clean up that eyeliner and just setting that little bit of concealer that I had put there. So here's me going back over with the NYX eyeliner. This lip combo was a new one for me. So I started off by lining my lip with the Juvia's Place Luxe Liner in the shade Cola, which is my typical lip liner that I use almost every time I wear makeup. Then I went around the outside with the One Size Lip Snatcher lip pencil in coin collector just to further define my lips. For lipstick, I first went in with the Juvia's Place Nubian Earth matte lipstick in the shade Nile. And then I just wanted to soften that up a little bit. So I went over top of it with the NARS Sensual Shine lipstick in Breathless and topped it all off with the Juvia's Place Coffee Shop lip gloss in Dolce Latte. The first setting spray that I used was the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Setting Spray, which is my go-to for melting in all of that powder that I put on my face. Here I'm using my little fan just to kind of speed up the drying process. And then I'm going to go in with the One Size On Till Dawn Mattifying Setting Spray. And this setting spray is going to give you the ultimate set. It's definitely going to keep your makeup locked into place all day. I chose not to wear false lashes today, so I just went in first with the Fenty Hella Thick Mascara, and I put that on my top lashes and my bottom lashes. Just to add a little bit more definition and length to those lashes, since I don't have on falsies, I went on top of the Fenty Hella Thick with the Lawless, the One and Done Mascara on the top as well as the bottom lashes. And that is it for this Golden Goddess eye makeup look. Be sure to comment, like, and share this video. Also, become a vixen and subscribe to the channel, girl. Everything I use will be listed in the description box below, and links are provided where available. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later.